Hello YouTube and welcome back to X-Plane 11 and the review, first impressions and review for Air Hauler 2. Last time out we went over how to set up a company, some of the quirks about it, took a look at the interface, what is available, what you can do with this, made some complaints, some observations, got ourselves an aircraft, added in modded aircraft, and now it is time in this episode to go ahead and get ourselves a type rating and do our first mission. So I'm going to click right here. We've got our Just Flight PA28R. It is going to cost £353.75 for the flights rating, and let's see just what happens when I press OK. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, and also make sure you stay tuned for my final thoughts on this product and what I think it is actually worth. Is it worth buying? Is it not? Is it too buggy? Is it absolutely fantastic? We'll find out in this episode. Okay, so I've gone ahead and clicked this and we've got this. It says X-Plane connection status, waiting. Now I'm assuming that this is where, because I've got that network connection, I need to make sure that, that's not what I want to do. I need to make sure that I have my setup going correctly. So I've got to make sure I've got the right amount of fuel on board. I've got to make sure that I've got the right amount of pretty much everything on board, actually. Let's see, that's how much fuel? No. Let's go ahead and pop some fuel on. I'm assuming I'll probably only need enough for, let's put 16 kilograms of fuel on board. So I'm going to set this up. I'm going to click the aircraft, which is this one here. We'll leave it with that, that's fine. Start with engines running, no. I'm going to put 0 on the payload, and we are looking for 16 kilos of fuel, which is only going to give me 30 minutes flight time, it says, which is not particularly what I am after. So, although it says on board, I'm so confused. 92.5 on board. So that isn't right. $92.5. Apparently there's 92.5 on board. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So this is going to be 92.5 on board. There we go. Okay. So that's going to be enough for me there. They've given me that. Let's have a look at what happens now. So I've got to get this aircraft set up. We're looking at runway 3. I've got no idea how this is going to work, actually. There it goes. It just says, welcome to the type rating, start up your aircraft and taxi your start and up and taxi your aircraft, take off and follow prompts, then land back at EGTC. Do not stall or overspeed, do not exceed 45 degrees pitch, 40 degrees roll. Okay, well that's what I'm told to do. So let's go ahead and go into this. Make sure we are at Echo Golf Tango Charlie. That's R. Echo Golf Tango Charlie. There we go. We're going for runway 3, so I'm going to stick us on the grass parking right here. We'll go for runway 3 and then we'll see what happens. Now, I actually have, I need to click start flight there. I actually have Active Sky running with this as well. So I'm going to see how all of this interacts. I really have no idea what's going to happen. I've got it set up for the day I'm recording it, but about 8 hours in the past. I want to see if Active Sky picks it up as normal. What does Air Hauler read it as? Does it accept the type rating? What's going to happen? So that is what I'm testing right here. I will be back as soon as this has loaded up. Okay, so here I am in X-Plane 11. Not exactly sure what's happened, but we seem to be at the right time of day. It puts me on the runway for some bizarre reason, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and start the aircraft up. Might as well just go through some of these checks. As a matter of fact, let's not go through the checks. Let's fast forward the checks and go straight to just starting the aircraft up like that. And let's see if this comes up. I saw it come up very briefly. There was something about a type rating, but it came up very briefly and then disappeared. But I'm not sure exactly if it's working. Oh, now it started me in the right place. With the aircraft started up. Okay, so there are a few interesting things going on here. For some reason it's not reading my flight controller either. Okay, well, that's something new. I have no idea what's going on. Give me a GA1. There you go. There we go. Okay, now it reads that. That was strange. I'll go ahead and switch on the lights. There we go. I always like switching those on anyway. So right, where is my type rating? Is this anywhere here? Am I going to get any information anywhere? Olsen H. I remember on Olsen H. Nothing there. Does it show me? It says connected, right? Start up and taxi your aircraft. But it knows my aircraft's running, so there's a positive. Let's see if I can move this aircraft. The flaps down. The aircraft does not want to move. The parking brake is on. The aircraft want to move now. Come on. Okay, the aircraft's now moving slowly. Okay, let's see if this does something. Ah, taxi and take off. There's some information for us. Okay, good. Let's see. Come on, get ourselves onto that taxiway. No. The ground friction in X-plane is still a little problematic. But it looks like we do have some positive here. Which way am I going? I should be going this way. Okay. Here we go to runway 3. Should be on to runway 3 here, right? It's not the first time I would have got this wrong if I do this, but I'm pretty sure that's runway 3 across. So it wants me to take off. It has been a long time since I've flown this aircraft in particular. That's not what I meant to do. As you can see, W, there you go. I've forgotten which button does what. I will need to look at the aircraft like that. There we go. Still managing it all right. I've got the fuel mixture right the way up. Let's go switch that on. So So let's see if I can pass this type rating of mine. Let's see what we get. It said take off, so that is exactly what I'm going to try and do. We have a slight crosswind today. There's our takeoff. Okay, well, we're up in the air. Climb to 4,100 feet indicated. Right, let's adjust that QNH. Climbing to 4,100 feet. Let's bring that RPM down just a bit. So that's part of our type rating right there. Let's bring this down just a little bit more. And we'll continue climbing at about 1,000 foot per minute, and we'll see what comes out of this. So when I loaded this up, so I did it all manually, the information was there wasn't a lot of information available, it seemed, as to what I was trying to accomplish. So I wasn't sure how much fuel to put in. I didn't quite get that, but that might have just been me. There is, over here there seems to be enough. There's enough information right here in front of me. I seem to be flying the aircraft fine. It told me to taxi and take off, so I did, and I am. And we seem to be we're climbing to 4,100 feet, so I'm assuming if I go past that, it will tell me off. That is what I'm assuming. Whilst I'm climbing to 4,100 feet, let's go ahead and grab Avitab, pull up Navigraph, not that one, pull up Navigraph, yeah I know that, airports, search for Echo Golf Tango Charlie, because we're coming back to this airport and I want to know what the ILS is of that. Runway 3 without ILS? Right, okay. So there's a bit windy over here. It's a bit gusty. Well, okay, we're landing without ILS. That's fine. It will be fine. Bring this down now. There we go. Okay, coming up on 4,100 feet. It is not easy here. It's just... Maybe this aircraft was a bad idea to start with. There's 4,100. And there you have it. Turn heading 333. and stay level at 4,100. Okay, well, let's try that. This is difficult, just because there's quite a lot of turn on to heading 231 and level out at 4,200. Why would he give me 231 and 333? Normally it should be 230, and now we're looking at 4,200, so we're looking for a climb slightly, not a descent. There you go, nice gentle climb. It's 235, 234, turn to heading 099, level out 4,500 feet. Okay, so we're still climbing. Interesting. You mean just 100? So I'm not too keen on what they're giving me, the angles they're giving me. I'm not too keen on those at all. So close as I could get to 099, that's 095 at the moment. Go on. Nicely over to 099. There you go. Good. Okay, we're going to 4,500 now. I'm just sort of holding 100 for this one. Land at departure airport, Echo Golf Tango. Right, okay. Well, let's get ourselves prepared to land at that airport then. Where is it? Echo Golf Tango Charlie. So that was it. That was my type rating. It's rather bizarre. Let's get ourselves into a decent descent. Okay, landing or better required. Well, let's bring ourselves down to 2,000 feet to begin with. Get ourselves onto a downwind leg. So we're looking for 210. I'm just doing a very lazy turn here. Unless I could just... Do you think I could bring it straight in? No, I'm not going to risk a straight in. It's too close. For that sort of descent, it's going to be too close, I think. But where is the airport? I need to find the airports first. There it is, yeah, it's going to be way too close. So let's go ahead and say 210, let's get that back onto 210. Get ourselves descending very nicely, and then we can just line ourselves up and land. Okay, so for a type rating, that's I'm pretty sure a type rating consists of a lot more than that. Let's go ahead and bring that up now. We'll bring that prop up. Let's get ourselves descending quite nicely, which is not a problem. It is a bit windy. It's just a bit windy. Watch the nose. Once we're down to, I think, 1,500 feet, then we'll turn in and then we'll come in for a landing. But we do need to keep the speed up because, well, for the essence of making this video, I do not want this video to be too long. So it looks like we're not going to do the mission yet, but we will see. Because that's going to be 70 nautical miles, which is going to be quite problematic. Wow, there is a lot in the way of updraft today. Active Sky's done a good job of pushing my nose up every single time. Right, so we're just going to go for 210, and we'll see from there what's happened. So it's given me my information. It's clear that the type rating does work. Active Sky seems to be working well with it. Apart from a little, I think something didn't work at the start. It seemed to get a little bit confused. But Active Sky does seem to be working okay with it. I've got the weather, I've got the information, I've got the aircraft. It all seems to be fine. Of course, it will take a lot more testing for me to be able to determine just how fine it is. Why is that? That's what I wanted. That autopilot is kind of annoying with the fly with lure, but it's okay. It's not too much of a problem. Right. So OK landing or better required. I have no idea what constitutes an OK landing on this aircraft. And giving myself the crosswinds and everything is this. I've given myself a slight challenge. I should have flown this aircraft before. I'd probably recommend that. If you are doing this, I would recommend flying the aircraft beforehand, getting some practice before perhaps you do the type rating or something of the sort, something like that. I'm going to continue the descent here, trying to keep around 500 foot per minute. Perhaps slow myself down a smidge now to looking for about 110 knots, thereabouts. I think as we pass over the M1, we're just going to continue for a few more seconds and then we'll turn ourselves around 2,000 feet, bring ourselves onto base and then final. I'll start slowing myself down now. Nose come up. It's good. Continuing that descent. Not too much. That's it. Okay, roughly on base now. Not quite on base, but getting there. That should be us on base. Descent wise, we are doing okay. I think it's time for one stage of flaps here. There's one stage of flaps. Props can now go to maximum. Still descending. Turning in on final. Keeping an eye out for the airport, looking for the puppy indicators. Really flown around this airport much. There it is. Gear down. I am too high, but that's okay. Maybe I should have extended a little bit more than I did, but we should be able to compensate fairly easily. There we go. We weren't too high after all. We were slightly too high, but it wasn't too far off what was expected. We start slowing down. Next stage of flaps. And maintain the descent. Looking for about 80 knots on the airspeed indicator. Thank you. 500 feet. I don't know who that is. It's someone just speaking to me in my head, clearly. Swap the fuel tank over. Let's get ourselves lined up a little bit better. Nice and stable down. Let's slow ourselves down. Yeah, we're landing. Let's slow ourselves down further. $70 knots is good. I think we can land quite nicely here. Who are you? You're supposed to be in a Boeing. Butter. The landing was a greaser. Good but early flare. That's not bad. Landing was a greaser. Quite happy about that. 83 feet per minute. So it says park. So I'm just going to turn around on the runway. Yeah, you can go away. Please go away. That's my landing. There you go. Thank you. I'm just going to park up on one side. So does that mean I passed it? I have no idea. I'm assuming I did because it said it was a good landing. I could have landed that better. I aim for 50 foot per minute landings. That's my target. But let's go ahead and just park the aircraft up somewhere. Let's go this way and see what we have. Very interesting then. So far that's how the type test goes, or the type rating. And we'll see what we can do from there. I have no idea how long this video has been because I had to do the loading into X-Plane and that takes a while and I wasn't really watching the time. So I might actually end up making a third part to this video, but so far so good. It seems to integrate well. It seems to do the job. Let's just park up right here. And I might have damaged the aircraft, so we need to check some of this now. So we'll go ahead and I'll just park up the aircraft here. Let's pop the parking brake on, which it is, and let's go ahead and kill this. Okay, congratulations, it does work. There you go. Okay, so all I've got to do now is there you go, and we're done. So it now says please close X-Plane, but I think surely we can just do main menu there and see if that does anything. So we can go back to that and oh no, we have to please close X-Plane and Alt Tab. I think we're done. I think we are done. Landing performance greaser. I mean, I'm quite happy about that. So look at that. That's a good amount of data that's been given. Landing wind speed 1 knot, wind direction 360. It felt a little bit more than that. It did feel a bit more than that. Roll 20 on, I was looking for 30 degrees on that. Pitch 8 degrees, I was looking for 10 degrees on that, so that's okay. Altitude was okay. That's not bad. Oh, and that's it. That's that done. I think that's that done. So I've got my type rating. There you go. So now it tells me that I've achieved the type rating, 2nd of June 2020. So now let's go to our aircraft and see. There, look. Hours to check. So that's gone down. The condition of the aircraft is absolutely fine. So that's great because I haven't damaged the aircraft at all. And I've got the hours gone down. This is good. I actually do like this. I'm actually quite interested in this now. Now that I've done that little bit of a flight, this is impressive. I mean, what I need to do now is I need to start doing some missions. But I'm quite happy about how that's running. I guess the missions are going to have to wait for another episode because the whole type rating has taken a while, and I do not want to end up with a 1.5 hour episode or whatever it's going to be doing this mission. So I will, in the next video, do a mission and then conclude. But so far, I'm impressed, especially with the amount of information it gave me. The integration is fairly seamless. It takes a little while just to set up, fine tune, make sure you get your times okay, make sure your weather is okay, make sure that you're matching the amount of fuel you have and all that kind of stuff. If you're using network mode, if you're not, it should do that all for you. But overall, I am quite impressed actually. £32.99. It adds a whole raft of things to X-Plane 11. I'm sure there's more to go, and I am going to be testing more. But so far, I would say at this point in time, if you were to ask me, I would say this is worth a purchase if you want to fly a lot of X-Plane 11 and add that immersion of passengers. If you're not interested in that, then this is not worth it at all. But if you are interested in money, the aspect of repairing aircraft and maintaining aircraft, I think this is pretty good. I will continue with this in the next video, so thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11, leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. I do apologise for some slightly odd flying at points. I'm surprised it actually allowed me to pass the test, if I'm honest, but I guess it's a little bit more forgiving than flying in real life, where I think a couple of my movements would have been not really a type rating, but a couple of my movements would have been me going back to an instructor telling me off for some of the speed, the turning angles, things like that. An instructor would have certainly told me off, and I know exactly which instructor would have told me off if I was doing this. If you can support me on Patreon, please do so. www.patreon.com/ecgadgets. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out, allow me to create more videos, better videos, and do this full time. And also, you can find me on social media at ecgadgetslp for both Twitter and Instagram. That's all from me, and hopefully you guys stay tuned for the next episode of X-Plane 11, where I will be taking out some job, probably not that one, but some job in this that is going to give me a test of actually how to fly this plane. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And now that I've got my type rating, I'm probably going to end up crashing the plane, let's be honest. I'll see you guys then.